The breaking of the 4-year cycle is great because it shows people like it's not going to happen exactly the same way. But I think a lot of people are scared right now because Bitcoin hasn't moved. But the funny thing about bearishness and these people predicting it's going down is eventually it's going to go back up. So, it'll go down. Maybe it'll go down. Nobody knows for sure, right? If anyone could know for sure, then, you can see the future and you're golden, but nobody knows. But if it goes down, it's going to come back up. So why be so depressed and bearish thinking it's going to go down when after it goes down, it's going to come back up? Because it will come back up, right? So it's just pushing past your own emotions and fear to understand that Bitcoin will go up forever.
Since 2011, Bitcoin has been declared dead hundreds of times. And every single time, it came back stronger. In 2011, it crashed over 90%. In 2014 to 2015, after Mt. Gox, it collapsed again. In 2018, the ICO bubble burst, another brutal drawdown. In 2022, during the macro tightening cycle, we saw yet another deep bear market. Different headlines, different villains, same outcome. Each cycle looked like the end. Each cycle was followed by a new all-time high. That pattern isn't random, it's structural. Now, fast forward to today. The US national debt is approaching $40 trillion, with sovereign debt exploding globally. Fiat systems expand, currencies dilute, purchasing power erodes. Samson Mow points to something bigger than price action. He argues that debt expansion accelerates fiat devaluation, and Bitcoin operates outside that system. Fixed supply, decentralized, programmatic scarcity, no central authority adjusting the rules. That's why every bear market feels catastrophic in the moment, yet historically becomes an accumulation phase in hindsight. If previous cycles are any guide, volatility isn't a flaw. It's part of Bitcoin's monetization process. So the question isn't whether Bitcoin has crashed before. It's whether this cycle is truly different or simply another chapter before the next all-time high. Let's hear Samson Mow break this down further in the next clips.
Short term, nobody knows. Long term, we all know. Every model is the same. It's all predicting up. And why is that? It's because fiat money demands it. We have this fiat monetary system that demands number go up, always. And even the US national debt is closing on 40 trillion. That's like 2 gold market caps there. And is that going to slow down? And people are worried about who's the Fed chair and all that stuff, but it comes down to this. Nothing stops this train. Hat tip Lynn Alden.
Yeah.
Nothing stops the train. Doesn't matter who the Fed chair is. Doesn't matter if he's dovish or hawkish. That number is going to go up. Government spending will go up. It will always keep going until we switch to a Bitcoin standard and spending stops because they cannot print anymore. So that's it. Just be bullish because there's no reason to be bearish. Number will always go up. Bitcoin is not going up now, but everything else is going up. And eventually Bitcoin will catch up and go up.
How do you know that that's going to happen, right? Things go up and down. They go up and down over time. So what makes Samson so confident that, hey, we know that we're going to keep printing the currency and therefore this is going to happen to Bitcoin. What makes Samson so confident?
It's probably 2 things. Like one is the fiat system. I'm bearish on the fiat system because it is infinite money printing, unlimited paper money. And that's just not normal. People like to say Bitcoin is an experiment, but fiat money is the experiment. If you go past before the dawn of fiat money, it was always hard money. Just a question of what technology embodied that hard money. We had metallic money. We use beaver pelts, beads, salt, rye stones, everything. It is something hard to replicate because when you can print money, you can steal from people. You're stealing their time, you're stealing their energy. And this is not normal. You're stealing from future generations, not normal. So I'm bearish on unlimited money printing, and I think it's highly unethical too. And we will go back to a hard money standard. Now, when you go to a hard money standard, Bitcoin is the best. And it's up to you to figure out why it's the best. But I'm telling you, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and it is the best. And you just have to find your way there. I can tell you everything, but you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can tell someone all these things, but until they understand it for themselves, it's not going to click. So you just have to find it out for yourself. But the clues are all there for you to see. There are a lot of people that didn't believe in Bitcoin. Even Saylor didn't believe in Bitcoin at first. But once you understand it, you cannot un-understand it. And I think that's the biggest thing. Now, I guess why else am I bullish on Bitcoin? It's just because if you think about it, Bitcoin really didn't do anything. It's 17 years old now. It just exists. It is a network. It is decentralized. It's people running nodes. It's software. It's math. It's energy. It really didn't do anything. It's us incorporating it into everything, into our lives, into the financial system, into the stock markets, everything like that. It is where it is today because it was needed. It's not that Bitcoin did anything. Satoshi created Bitcoin, released it, and people started running it and using it and transacting it as money, as a hard asset. And that's it. It didn't do anything. It didn't negotiate any deal. It didn't have a trade agreement. It didn't talk to a government to say, you got to use us because, you know, we're whatever. Like, there are altcoins that do that and try to do that, but Bitcoin just existed. And if Bitcoin can just exist and be where it is today, with the place it holds in a lot of the financial world today, just by existing, you have to give it some credibility and acknowledgement that this is something that is profound.
What is your thought on quantum? Like the energy stuff, obviously, I feel like has gone away over the last 2 years. Like, you don't hear much of energy FUD anymore with Bitcoin because all of a sudden the AI storm has taken over. But now we have this quantum thing that all of a sudden is like taking its place. So I would love your thoughts on, you know, kind of any and all of that right now.
Yeah, again, like the quantum stuff is just like the energy stuff. It's a nothing burger. There is no quantum computer that can attack Bitcoin. Every quantum circuit now that can do something, it's basically given a cheat code saying, here's the answer. Can you find that answer that we're looking for? And it can, yes, it can find that. But there is no quantum computer that can attack Bitcoin. And it comes up all the time, and I repeat the same thing. Like, Bitcoin can upgrade very quickly when we all agree there's a threat. You know, there's the BIP 110 thing now. I haven't looked at it. That's a lot of contention right there. We're not in agreement. And I don't think we will be in agreement anytime soon. But if there is a clear and present danger to Bitcoin, like a quantum computer exists that can do something, we will all agree that this is the upgrade and we're going to upgrade. But even before that, all we need is a key path spend to spend Bitcoin, even without the proper quantum solution, because that can be bolted on later. But the biggest danger now, I think, you could view the quantum attack as an attack in and of itself, is to pressure everyone to support a rush solution, which is actually the most dangerous thing. Because if you add quantum resistance cryptography to Bitcoin, that can possibly be attacked by classical computers. So you almost want to fix it closer to the threat than too far in advance, because you might open up Bitcoin to normal attacks today by trying to fix it for the future. So I think you have to first wait till a quantum computer exists and then reevaluate. And as long as we have the key path to spend safely, then we're okay. So all of it is blown out of proportion, much like the energy and every single other thing. And it's really just an opportunity for people. Like, those that know, and you will hold fast because it is FUD. Like, if you're going to sell for that, then just don't hold anything, right? But the biggest danger quantum holds is not to Bitcoin. It is to everything else. And it's not that, like, quantum computing could crack your credit card and your bank account or whatever easily, but that's not the threat. The threat is a foreign actor is going to nuke the financial system of another country, right? And just shut everything off. There's a show on Netflix called 0 Day. You can watch it. It's like hackers taking down the banking system, and it just causes mass chaos because the world can't function without their banking system. So the most likely scenario is some hacking group gets access to a quantum computer, shuts down the banking system in another country, and they have to use Bitcoin because nothing else functions.
Where do you see when you kind of zoom out with the stable coin, and is it going to prolong dollar dominance? And like, where do you see when you kind of zoom out here?
I think the push for stable coins is more of a survival move for the traditional system rather than anything that's going to hold out in the long run. That's why you have legislation being tabled for the SPR, for the Bitcoin Act, and I think there's another act that takes Bitcoin as payment for taxes, right? But I think the people that know understand that stablecoins are kind of a holdover that keeps things going until they can, no pun intended, get their act together and get the Bitcoin Act out there, right? And they can accumulate in size. But yeah, like I think USAT is a very interesting product. Like it's helping Tether enter the US market, and they will show themselves to be a reliable partner. And when Tether makes money, they're buying Bitcoin and gold, but they're buying Bitcoin in large quantities. So it's almost like everything is good for Bitcoin. So if rates are cut, then people will look to preferreds from Strategy or whatever. If rates aren't cut, then stablecoin issuers that buy Bitcoin like Tether will buy Bitcoin with their profits. So it's kind of like everything is really good for Bitcoin, no matter which way it goes. But stablecoins, I think most importantly, educate people that you can have a bearer instrument. Stablecoins are not as bearer as Bitcoin because they're a wrapper around fiat. Yeah. But still, you get people into the workflow of how to use these things, scanning a QR code, sending money to anyone in the world, having no intermediary for that other than the trust assumption of the wrapping of that asset. But this is like teaching people how to transact in Bitcoin. And this is kind of core to our philosophy with Aqua, which is attack the stablecoin market in Latin America, let them transact stablecoins on Liquid, get them understanding how to use Liquid, and then getting them from Liquid USDT into Bitcoin and saving in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is very prominent there and it's labeled as savings account and you have a Bitcoin price at the top. But I think it's an on-ramp for people to get into Bitcoin.
History shows us something powerful. Every time Bitcoin has been written off, it has eventually rewritten the narrative. The crashes felt permanent in the moment, but structurally, they became stepping stones to new all-time highs. With global debt expanding and fiat systems under pressure, the bigger question isn't whether volatility exists. It's whether Bitcoin's fixed supply and decentralized nature position it differently in the long run. So here's what it comes down to. Is this cycle truly different, or are we watching another accumulation phase before the next major expansion? I want to hear from you. Do you believe the next all-time high comes sooner than most expect? Or does this cycle take longer to unfold? If you enjoyed this video or found value in it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for daily Bitcoin and crypto updates. We drop a new video every single day. Thanks for watching.